Imagine gathering around a crackling fire on a chilly autumn night, sharing tales that send shivers down your spine. Stories of poisoned treats, flesh-eating fish, and shadowy figures lurking in the woods. But what if I told you that the scariest part isn't the fiction? It's the fact that these legends are rooted in real events, often stranger and more twisted than the myths themselves. In this video, we dive deep into iconic spooky tales and uncover their bizarre, true origins. Let's begin. Story 1. Our first tale takes us to the heart of Halloween paranoia, the fear that a neighbor might slip something deadly into your child's candy haul. This urban legend has parents worldwide inspecting sweets like detectives, but it all stems from one chilling real-life tragedy in 1974 Texas. On a foggy Halloween night, 8-year-old Timothy O'Brien went trick-or-treating with his family and friends. Later that evening, after enjoying a pixie sticks from his haul, Timothy fell violently ill and tragically passed away. Investigations revealed the candy had been laced with cyanide, not by a stranger, but by his own father, Ronald Clark O'Brien, who was drowning in debt and saw a twisted opportunity in life insurance payouts. Convicted of this heartbreaking crime, O'Brien earned the moniker the Candyman, forever changing how we view the holiday. While razor blades in apples remain pure myth, this single act of betrayal birthed a cautionary legend that's kept generations vigilant and perhaps a bit too fond of testing the chocolate themselves. Story 2. Now, let's swim into murkier waters with the myth of piranhas as ravenous monsters, stripping flesh from bones in seconds. Hollywood blockbusters like Piranha have painted these fish as underwater demons, but the story traces back to an unlikely source: a former U.S. president on a grand adventure. In 1913, Theodore Roosevelt embarked on an expedition through the Brazilian Amazon, eager to explore the untamed wilderness. Local guides, keen to impress the dignitary, cordoned off a section of river and starved a school of piranhas for days. Then, in a dramatic display, they tossed in a live cow. The frantic fish devoured it in a frenzy, leaving only bones bobbing to the surface. Roosevelt, awestruck, chronicled the event in his book Through the Brazilian Wilderness, calling piranhas the embodiment of evil ferocity. In truth, piranhas are mostly omnivores or even herbivores, only turning aggressive when desperate. Teddy's tale, amplified by movies and media, turned a staged spectacle into a lasting nightmare of the deep. Story 3. Shifting from nature's oddities to celebrity scandals, we've all heard the wild rumor that stars like Marilyn Manson or Cher had ribs removed for, well, let's say unconventional reasons. This salacious gossip actually originated with a flamboyant Italian poet whose life was a whirlwind of excess and influence. Gabriela Deninio, a daring aviator, writer, and seducer in the early 20th century, thrived on scandal. He spread tales about himself, cooking exotic meats, stealing art, and yes, allegedly having ribs surgically removed for self-indulgence. But Deninio's real legacy? He pioneered elements of fascism. In 1919, he led a militia to seize the city of Fiume, creating a proto-fascist state that inspired Benito Mussolini. Even the infamous fascist salute drew from his ideas. The rib rumor, recycled for modern celebs, pales next to how this provocateur shaped history's darker chapters. Story 4. Deep in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey lurks the Jersey Devil, a winged, hooved beast said to haunt the forests. Folklore blames a cursed birth, but the creature's origins lie in colonial rivalries and a founding father's sharp wit. In the 1700s, Daniel Leeds published an almanac that clashed with Quaker beliefs, earning him the label Satan's Harbinger. His son Titan took over, only to feud with Benjamin Franklin, whose competing almanac jokingly predicted Titan's death and called him a ghost when he survived. Anti-British sentiment mocked the Leeds family crest as the Leeds Devil, which evolved into tales of a chimeric monster. A 20th century promoter revived the legend for publicity, turning political satire into New Jersey's most enduring cryptid and even inspiring a hockey team. Story 5. From earthly beasts to otherworldly ones, the conspiracy of Nazi UFOs fueled by mystical energy sounds like pulp fiction. Yet it springs from a Victorian novel that sparked occult obsessions. In 1871, Edward Bulwer Lytton penned The Coming Race, a sci-fi story of an underground civilization powered by Vril, a life force enabling flight and wonders. Occult enthusiasts latched on, birthing tales of a Vril society aiding Nazis with alien tech for flying saucers. Though historians doubt the society's existence, the myth infiltrated games like Wolfenstein and even neo-Nazi lore, blending Victorian fantasy with wartime paranoia. Story 6. Beneath Scotland's misty Loch Ness hides Nessie, the elusive plesiosaur-like monster. Sightings span centuries, but the iconic image comes from a vengeful hoax. In 1934, the surgeon's photograph, a grainy shot of a long-necked creature, captured imaginations via the Daily Mail. But it was crafted by Marmaduke Wetherell, humiliated after fake footprints he found were debunked as hippo tracks. With his stepson, he built a model from a toy submarine and clay, snapping the photo as revenge against the tabloid. Confessed in 1994, this prank solidified Nessie's form in pop culture, proving hoaxes can outlive the truth. Story 7. The chilling urban legend of the babysitter and the man upstairs, where calls trace from inside the house, inspired films like When a Stranger Calls. Its roots, a heartbreaking, unsolved case from 1950 Missouri. 13-year-old Janet Chrisman was watching a young boy when she dialed police in panic, only for the line to go dead. Returning home, the family discovered a tragic scene. Prime suspect Robert Mueller, known for troubling behavior, called the family oddly soon after, but jurisdictional disputes let him slip away uncharged. Robert was the prime suspect due to a number of factors. He was a friend of the family for whom Jeanette was babysitting, the Romacks. He had been around the Romack house many times when Janet babysat, and Mr. Romack testified that Mr. Mueller often commented on Janet's well-developed body. Mrs. Romack stated that Mueller touched her suggestively 2 days before the murder. A mechanical pencil that matched puncture wounds found on Janet's body was known to be carried by Mueller. Despite the investigators' belief that he was the killer, police couldn't secure a conviction, and the case remains officially unsolved to this day. Robert Mueller died in 2006 in his 80s. The case remains open, its irony fueling a timeless warning about hidden dangers. Story 8. In the starry skies of New Hampshire's White Mountains, the archetype of gray aliens probing abductees began with a couple's eerie encounter. In 1961, interracial civil rights activists Barney and Betty Hill claimed a UFO pursued them, leading to lost time and, under hypnosis, memories of gray-skinned beings with large heads performing exams. Believers contend that Barney and Betty Hill were abducted by a flying saucer somewhere along New Hampshire's White Mountains. Aliens shoved a needle through Betty's navel and a metallic capsule inside Barney's rectum. Skeptics maintain it was all made up, pointing to sleep deprivation, a recent sci-fi episode, and societal stress from racism as factors. Their story, the first major abduction tale, shaped alien lore from the outer limits to modern UFO reports, blending personal turmoil with cosmic mystery. Story 9. Finally, the enduring conspiracy that Elvis Presley didn't really pass away, but instead faked his death in 1977 to escape the limelight. Where did this idea come from? It starts with a man by the name of Jimmy Ellis, a man who wanted to be a star and had been trying to make it in the music business for 15 years when Elvis died in 1977. Jimmy Ellis had a voice that was remarkably similar to Elvis Presley's. Following Elvis's death, a novel was published in 1978 called Orion, about a singer who faked his death. This novel, combined with Ellis's vocal likeness to Elvis, led to his record company, Sun Records, which had been acquired by Shelby Singleton, marketing Ellis as the masked singer Orion. Promotional materials for Orion hinted that he might be Elvis in disguise. While Orion, according to Wikipedia, had some success on the country charts, Ellis eventually revealed his identity in 1983, stating he would no longer perform as Orion. Though his career struggled under his own name, he later returned to performing as Orion in 1987. In essence, Jimmy Ellis's career as Orion capitalized on the Elvis is alive conspiracy theories that emerged after Presley's death. From historical feuds to cosmic curiosities, these stories remind us that the world is full of wonders and weirdness. If you enjoyed this dive into the unknown, hit that like button, subscribe for more hidden mysteries, true crime deep dives, and more. Which legend surprised you most? Let us know in the comments. Until next time, please stay safe out there, and as always, stay curious.